No problem.
Okay. So what do we have here? We have the date, let's say
Mm-hmm.
date of birth
Mm-hmm.
and today's date, and then age is being calculated by this date minus this and rounding it to
Correct.
0 decimal. So I get a round figure.
Right.
And then I have number
Right.
of people. Based on
Right.
this, I've created first I created a pivot
Pivot
table
table.
where I did not do
Mm-hmm.
anything. I just simply dragged age into rows and then I okay. Now for now I'm just removing this, let's say. And if I have this grouping one by one, I will see them here. Once I do
Right.
this, I will go to this, suppose I,
Ungroup.
yeah, and I will go and group it again.
Okay.
Group it starting at, I can give the starting range. If I want it from 30, I can do from 30 till 60 in
Correct.
intervals of 10. So this is on in my hand. I can decide at my, as per my need, I can group it.
Perfect.
Okay. This works with days, date, text, whatever I want. So similarly, let's
Perfect.
say I want something for, I have dates here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say check clearing or check receipts. So date, branch, amount. Based on
Okay.
that, I have, let's say I create a pivot table like this, where I have the sum of amount. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the months and the date here.
Okay.
Okay. So
I can group it week wise also. So if I were to see
yes,
the amount of receipts entered weekly.
week is actually not an option here right now.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
if they give an option, you can, you will see the options over here. Basically, so this is the day wise total by branch. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I want to group it, I right click, I go to group, and it gives me the starting date and the starting month. And these are the parameters based on which
The
I can
options
group
that
it.
are
Yes.
available.
Yes.
Yes.
So maybe I don't want it days, I want it months, quarters, years. Then I will select these three and then I will say,
Mm-hmm.
so it will give me year wise, quarter wise, and month wise.
Okay.
Suppose I want to change this and fill series, go to month. So this is just to get large number of months here. So when I
Right.
refresh this, I will get 2021. I get
Mm-hmm.
2022. So within
Perfect.
2022, I get quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four,
It
and
is taking
within
the American quarters, I guess. Yes.
Jan to March. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mm, I think by changing the date format, you may be able to play around with that as well. Let me just check. This is the US one. Okay.
Yes.
Suppose I have UK. What does it do in- Actually, I'll have to change this first. So this format remains the 10. I'll have to change it basically to
Right. DDMMYYYY.
yeah, DDM. So the data will have to be entered and
Yes.
but yeah, it is possible to play around with that. Okay. So this
Got
is
it.
on this. Now, while we are on this topic, let's say I want let me create another pivot table here. quickly. There was another question that you had asked about doing a comparison, right?
Right.
So let's say I have a branch and I have an amount. And what
Okay.
you can do here is, have you worked with multiple values of amount? The same amount, what I can do is I can
Okay.
again drag it and put it under values. Now it becomes sum of amount 2. Now, instead of
Okay.
sum, I go to sum of amount 2 here. I go to value field
Okay.
settings. By default, these are the standard ones that we know,
Right.
right?
Right.
Besides this, you go here.
Okay.
There is no calculation by default. Instead,
Okay.
suppose you want a percentage.
Okay.
It will give you a percentage.
I see.
Without you having to do anything.
Got it. Got it.
Suppose I increase.
So it will
this
take out a percentage of
grand
150,
total.
105.
Yes.
And yes.
50,000 out of 150,000.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, I'll just refresh it. I just change the value here. So this becomes 60.
Mhm.
So naturally the
Mhm.
total,
Yes. The percentage is also
changes.
changed. Right.
Right?
Right.
This is one.
Fabulous.
Now here I can also do this. I drag the third one. I
Okay.
can go from here also. Field settings. Go to show value as. By default, it's no calculation. Instead,
Mhm.
I can scroll down and I can do a difference.
Okay.
Difference to the previous value or to the next value.
Okay.
Or maybe you have a gold standard. So always
Mhm.
compare with Kolkata or always compare with Guwahati or always compare with Bhubaneswar, whatever you want to do. Or you
Got
can
it.
just compare one by one. So there's the difference between this and this is 10,000.
Mhm.
Difference between this and this is minus 10,000.
Right. Got it.
And you can rename it.
So can this be done between two sheets, two different files, Excel files?
Between two files is a bit, how do you want to do it?
Say, for example, I have a data set for the month of October and a separate data set for the month of November.
Okay.
And I want to compare where we stand as of today against the same date on October, but those files are two different separate Excel files.
Your first challenge is you need to create a pivot table using that data.
Yes.
If you can create a pivot table using two data sheets, two different
Okay.
files, not data sheets, two different files, then you
Okay.
can do this.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I doubt whether you'll be able to do it.
Okay, I'll come to it. There are some certain segments of data set that I need to play around with, which would need your insights. And I
Sure.
think the best time to do it would be in the last two classes when we
Yeah.
discuss
Fine,
about my
fine.
data sets.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Now this is difference that we are doing. Now same way,
Okay.
I'll repeat this one more time. I again drag it. I drop it here. Now
Okay.
this time, difference amount is 3. This is the one that I got. Sum of amount
Mhm.
3 and sum of amount. I can move it to end, so it goes to the end.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
and then sum of
Mhm.
amount 3. I go back, show value as. Now, this is the grand
Mhm.
total of the row or column or parent total, or I can also have percentage based on some other value. Percentage based
Okay.
on the previous value means whatever it is
Okay.
compared to the previous one.
Got it.
So this is 100% improvement and or 120% compared to that previous
Yes.
one and things like that.
Yeah. Got it.
And overlap. This amount four. So other than this, I also have running total. So if you want a running total,
Mhm.
so 50,000 plus 60,000
Mhm.
plus
Mhm.
50,000. So you get the grand total here.
Okay. Got it.
I'm not renaming them, but you need to rename them to make sense.
Yes.
And you can get a percentage also instead of that same number, you know. So here
Yes.
we are getting a total. So instead of the total, oh sorry. You can get a percentage here. So run a percent total. You can rank them smallest to largest, rank
Right.
largest to smallest. So
Okay.
based on your needs, okay. Suppose you have like a ranking that you want to derive, just do it randomly and it will do all of this for you. Okay.
Perfect.
And the other thing obviously with pivot table is you can do the pivot table charts, right? Do you use that?
Yes, I do that.
Okay. So you are familiar with the charts. Okay. So based on this, you can choose which version of Excel do you use?
I think my system has just recently been updated to 11, Windows 11, and along with that, the IT guy he did some checks on Excel. So I think it is the latest one,
Okay.
which
Then you
happens to be
should
11,
be
I guess, if
seeing,
I'm not wrong.
okay, then you should be seeing this additional graphs, okay, and from tree
Right.
map. The previous version would be there till
Yes,
radar,
I have seen. Yes, I have seen tree map
right?
and sunburst.
Yeah, tree map, sunburst, histogram, waterfall. Otherwise, previously we had to make this waterfall manually. And the
Okay.
uh, best thing is the combo charts, right? You can have
Right.
a mix of bar chart, line chart, or different types of charts.
Right.
And even if the volume or the number sequence is different, for example, you have this as percentage
Mm-hmm.
and this as a number, right? Now if I use both of them on the same
Mm-hmm.
scale, your graph goes for a toss. This
Mm-hmm.
one looks absolutely flat, right? Although that
Right.
is like a percentage, but it's flat because it's
Yes.
such a huge number, this 180,000, 150,000, and
Right.
compared to that, it's a percentage. So what you should do in these cases is you should move
Mhm.
them to another axis, which is called as the secondary
Okay.
axis. Just click here
Okay.
and system will
Okay.
move this automatically to the secondary axis.
Okay.
Now, see, the graph becomes much easier. You can interpret it in two ways. One, look at the bars. It will give you the amount.
Yes. Right.
And look at the yellow line. It will give you the percentage.
Mhm.
Value is
Correct.
83.3 or wherever you are. It will give you that
Yes.
particular amount, 120%. So now it comes in percentage. So you have two
Right.
series here, one on the left,
Mhm.
which is in amount,
Mhm.
rupee terms,
Mhm.
and this one is on the right, which is in percentage terms.
Right.
Okay. And here you have these
Fair enough.
as your normal bar graph, or this one is a running total, which goes all the way till 160.
Got it. Got it.
Right. So this one is a good way to do this. Now,
Mhm.
do you use Excel on iPads or any of the handheld devices?
No, I
Not much.
generally
Okay.
like don't. I
Okay.
tried using them on a
Okay.
handheld device.
Okay. Sometimes people use it. Then, you know, there is something called as a slicer. Have you used a slicer?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I'll tell you about the slicer. Slicer is nothing but a
Okay.
filter way of putting a filter. Only thing is it
Okay.
works on pivot table. It works on tables, let me say that way, pivot table or a normal
Okay.
table. So if I were to
Okay.
put a slicer here, this is my pivot table. I
Okay.
say insert slicer.
Okay.
I say I want
Okay.
it on the branch and I want it on quarters, let's say. So I
Okay.
get my slicers like this.
Okay.
So imagine this was your handheld device. You wouldn't have a
Mhm.
mouse, right? So
Okay.
in that
Right.
case, how would you do it? You would have to use your fingers or a pointer. So in that
Yes.
case, you click on this quarter 1, you get a quarter 1 data here.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
let me say, let me remove this. Bhubaneswar, I get this here.
Mhm.
I get
Okay.
Guwahati, I get it here. So slicer is actually a great thing to put on your summary sheet if you want. Like if you remember, we had talked about summary sheet in the first class. So
Yes.
it can be
Yes.
based on the data that we have. I'll put it over here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And I will put the slicers. If I don't have enough space, I can then move them around.
Okay. So when we speak of slicer, so we introduce slicers only when like we are trying to analyze a set of data or a table,
Correct.
and what it does for me is it does you can say sort of the similar kind of things that we have in a pivot table, like rows and
Filter.
columns,
Filter.
so that
It's like a filter.
yes.
So I want
Okay.
to see the BBSR data. It will just show me the BBSR data. The graph will also
And
change.
got it. So are slicers applicable only for
Any kind of table,
charts?
any kind of table. It works on your tables and it also works on your graph and chart basically. Because your
Okay.
graph, in this case, my graph is based on my pivot chart, pivot table, right? My pivot
Okay.
table
Yes.
This was the one that I used. Now see, if I were to,
Okay.
let me show you live. Okay, I click on BBSR, my pivot table changes.
Acha.
Because this changes, that is why my graph also changes, because it is based on that same pivot table.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. This will be very useful to filter out, say, who are the bottom performing teams
Correct.
in a large
Correct.
zone.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
And these are the settings, and display header, whatever you want, you can make them according to, you know, your requirements. Show items with no data last, show items deleted from the data source, hide items with no data. So these are different options that you have for your slicer. And you can also like make them flat, or you can use multiple, like this is a multiple select. Okay, now I want to see, I want to see Bhubaneswar and Kolkata.
Okay.
I want to see Guwahati also. Like you have so many branches in your sheet. If you prepare a table, let's say Kolkata, Guwahati, Bhubaneswar, Pune, Hyderabad, Noida, you know, Bangalore, and you know, or north, south, east, west, depending on how you want it, you can have them here, and then you can just play around with them.
Okay.
And that would be your slices. Now there is another feature which works on these dates. Okay, so if I have a pivot table, okay, now on these dates, what I can do is I can just, similar to slicer, there's something called as timeline.
Timeline. Okay.
Timeline works on dates. Okay, these are good for presentation.
Right.
You know, it wows your audience basically. So here you can use this as a slider to filter your data. Okay, so depending on what dates you want it from, okay, so you want it from this date to this date, or you want to enlarge this, you want to drag this here. So between August to September, that's the date you want. So let me just move it from here and put it over here. Now see, August and September data is displayed. You see this in the pivot table?
Yes, yes.
Now I move it to November. November data comes.
Can you please click on months for me once?
This one?
Not there, not there.
Yeah.
On the timeline, timeline box.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
On above it, months. The drop down that we see here.
This one.
Yes. Yes.
So if you want years,
I can. Yes, that's what I wanted to see.
You just click on 2021. It will give you all the data for 2021.
Perfect.
And you want 2021 and 2022, just drag them.
Got it.
These are nowadays, you know, visual ways to do this. You know, so
yes,
you know, filter is always there, good old filter. But besides that, you may want to use these features as well.
Sure.
And, again, this can go on your summary sheet. So you ask people to, you know, slide in and out and their data will change and stuff like that. Great stuff will happen.
Perfect.
And we have looked at pivot table, we have looked at pivot chart. Now here, pivot table, you already know probably these buttons and these, you can enable them, disable them, and the display will go off and on depending on your choice.
I have not used them.
Okay.
If you may please.
Basically, sometimes what happens, if you see here, I click outside and the pivot columns or the pivot fields go off, right? The pivot
Yes.
field list. If I click on it, they are
Okay.
supposed to come back, but it
Yes.
doesn't come back. Why?
Okay.
Because there is an option here called field list. Can you see this right at the top?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So when I click on this, that is when it will be auto
Okay.
on and auto
Okay.
off. I click here. This is good to know just in case, you know, somehow it doesn't come
I just
on.
want to hide it.
Yeah, or you
Yes.
want to hide it, it's taking up space. Just click on this, it
Yes.
will go away. But when you click on this, it doesn't come back.
Okay.
So that's when you
So I
go
need to
here.
click on field list.
Yeah, field
Okay.
list and it will come. Same thing with the field headers. Suppose you want to display the field headers. Okay. So you can select on off. See this sum of amount column labels.
Yes.
You don't
Yes.
want it. You can just hide it. See this row labels, column labels. So that goes.
Yes. Yes. Those
Then
are gone.
here you have this design. Okay.
Okay.
Now this design helps you to highlight or you want some styling and things like that. You might have seen banded columns. Banded columns is like a tiger,
Yes.
you have
Yes.
stripes, right? Or you can do it on rows also. And you can change the pivot table color and style based on your choice.
Okay.
Whichever one you want. Scroll down, you get different darker shades as well. Or you want a lighter one, whichever one you want. Now, along with this, you can have this, you can choose what to do. You want a blank line after each item. So after each, like quarter 4, a blank row is inserted. After quarter 1, another blank row, just to give some space, maybe if it's too clumsy. And these are the report layouts, show in compact form or show in outline form. Okay, then this plus minus comes.
Okay.
And show in tabular form. So you see this table comes on and report all item labels. So all of them will be repeated. Otherwise, what happens?
Okay.
It doesn't repeat. Only one of them will come.
Okay.
2021, rest of it is blank. Assumption being this is all 2021 till
2022. Got it.
Then you have the grand totals. So you don't need the grand totals, let's say at the bottom. So you can go to grand totals and switch them off. You can switch it on and you can switch on for rows only. So only you get a total for the rows, grand total for the rows, or only for the columns. So you get it only for the columns. Okay. Subtotals, you do not want a subtotal, so your subtotal goes.
Got it.
And you want subtotals maybe at the bottom. You want subtotals. Okay. Now, did you ever, since you have been working extensively with pivot table, suppose you have a data like this, okay? Now you have done some pivot table on the branches. Now, do you have to send branch-wise data to someone? Hey,
Yes.
guys, you know, how would you do that?
Yes. Yes. So what I generally, I'll show you some things. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'll just pause the recording 1 minute.
Okay. You said.
No problem,
sir.
I'll repeat it.
Okay.
So what I was saying is, did you see the beginning of the consolidate? So what we did in what we do in consolidate is basically we identify a range
Okay.
Add it here. In this case, it's already there. So let me just delete these two. Let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
So I have a range, let's say two set of ranges. Ranges can be anywhere in my sheet. Okay. They need not be right
Okay.
next to each other. Right next to each other, I
Okay.
can just use auto sum, or I can just add them and
Right.
drag them and kind of thing. It is only when I have two different places, I have to be careful about adding them, right? So what I can
Okay.
do here is, suppose I have one range here like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to consolidate and I say add.
Okay.
Let's say I want to do this. Oh. So I have to just click on this and select, give it the references basically. So
Okay.
add. So this gets added. Now I
Okay.
again go here, give the range here. So I have now got two ranges.
Mm-hmm.
And I want a sum, or I want a max, or I want a product, whatever I want. I'll just
Okay.
come here wherever I want, and I will click on that
Mm-hmm.
place. I have these two ranges. So system will
Mm-hmm.
add these two numbers up, these two ranges for me.
Okay.
Okay. So 10,100, 10,200. So how many values are
Mm-hmm.
there based on that? And wherever I go on this sheet, okay, suppose I want it in another place, I go to consolidate and I say, okay.
Okay.
So now I don't need to remember where my original data was, or the
Perfect.
range that I should be doing. Now between them, I
It
go
is
to,
already auto-filled there.
yes, it's already auto there. So the range is given. Suppose I want an average. So it'll give me an average of this, of that
Okay.
range, those two ranges that I selected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want consolidate, and instead of average, I want a max. So between those two, whichever is max, it will give me that. And
Okay.
depending on the function that I'm choosing, basically, right? Count numbers or number of values.
Got it.
So last three are, that means additional numbers, so which are not there in these two ranges, right?
Okay.
So this is the consolidate one. And
Mm-hmm.
there is something called as data model. Okay. What
Okay.
data model does is, I'll come to the data model. Before that, let me just oh, oh. Okay. Now, sorry, what if analysis. Okay. In this what if analysis, there is something called as a goal seek. Have you ever tried the goal seek?
Okay. No.
Okay. Goal sheet, goal seek. Okay. Goal seek is simple. Suppose I have a principal, I have rate, and I have amount. Interest, let's say interest. Now principal is, let's say 10,000. Rate of interest is 5%. And this is the yearly amount that I am getting.
Okay.
Now, with this goal seek, what I can do is, I can say, set, let's say this 500 to a value of, I want 5,000. So how much do I need to change this value to? It is a straightforward calculation. So system modified this to 100,000. 10 times, right? Now, obviously it won't be so simple every time. You could just have a goal seek. Maybe you want to change, set this 548 to a value of 250,000, or let's make it a bit more, 275,000, by changing this rate. Oh, by changing this rate. So that means if you want on a principal of 1 lakh, you want 275,000, you have to
The
give a
rate has to be
of
275.
275. So it's basically a way of doing a what if kind of thing. Now, based on this, what you can do is, when we have this scenario manager, what scenario manager does is, let me have two realistic cases. This would be the interest, and I say add, and scenario name I will say bad. Okay, by changing this B50 and all this. And you can add another one where you say good, and B50 by changing the cells of 250. And so here, instead of 90, I want, let's say 290. So I have a good and a bad scenario over here. Okay. Now, what system allows you to do is, you can have a summary created, which will show you the good and the bad in a comparative format. Okay. Now, obviously, you can see this depends a lot on the kind of data or the scenario that you have built in.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So if you're trying to do some kind of a forecasting, or you're trying to, guess what kind of business or, collections and things like that can happen. So you can do a good, bad analysis. Based on that, system can give you a comparative analysis. You can have multiple scenarios here, not just one scenario. Like you can see here, you can have multiple, good, bad, like this. Now, best thing is, I will show you, how they have explained it. So if you go to this scenario manager here and click on this icon, help icon. There's an help icon from Microsoft. There's a help, online help, which is available, which
Okay.
gives you
Mhm.
scenario
Okay.
wise, and it's very well documented. And there are some good videos also,
Okay.
which you can
Okay.
use for referring in future.
Okay. Perfect. So when you did this, I remember in the first class we did one thing wherein uh, we were able to take out a trend. And by taking out a trend, I think why I am asking this question is because of the fact that here at India Mart, the revenue model is like history, it repeats itself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I go by historical data of all the quarters, I can see that the quarter on quarter growth for my business has been somewhere around 25% every
Okay.
quarter.
Okay.
So if I can take out the data of the last three financial years and try to take out a trend, I'll be able to guess what I would be doing and what I
Next
where I
quarter.
would end up doing this quarter itself.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
so I would want in the like customized class that we'll have in the end, you to share some insights on that also.
Sure. Sure. We can do that. Can do that. So see, this is one
All right.
example where they're showing worst case, best case.
Hmm.
Okay. And here they're
Correct.
using a data where they're talking about gross revenue, cost of goods sold,
Mhm.
and they get a gross
Mhm.
profit out of it. So you can change it to net
Okay.
profit, or you can whatever values you want.
Mhm.
And this is a great way to,
Mhm.
do a side by side comparison.
Correct.
That's why I showed you the help, so that, in when you get a
Mhm.
few minutes or you want to investigate this
Mhm.
further, just come here and you can see this.
Mhm.
Okay. So kinds of what if analysis, and they've given you some data tables also. So you can use these. Okay. Maybe right now you may not be using
Okay.
it, but in case ever
Perfect.
you want to use it, then it gives you
Right.
the navigation also,
Yes.
tells you where to go, so that you're ready for it whenever you think you want to use it. Okay. And
Perfect.
let me also show you, while we are on this page, there's a search here. Okay. In the next
Mhm.
class, we'll be starting with the functions. Okay. So let's say
Yes.
functions. Let's say something like this.
Okay.
So you come here, it's always there and it's from Microsoft. Okay. So it's authentic. So
Okay.
you don't have to, worry about
Mhm.
it being genuine now. And you can get a transcript also of that, no, here. So whatever they have said, there's a transcript.
Mhm. I think
Sorry.
I think there's some issue with the network.
Yeah, I think so.
Not able to hear you also properly.
Oh, is it? No, I was not speaking. So
Okay.
I just waiting. Yeah, now see this is loaded. So it shows you step by step and in a very, simple, straightforward manner to the point. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, and the voice speaking on about the video.
No.
Is greater than or equal
Now?
to 90,
Now
turn
I
in
can.
A. We nest an if function by setting value if false to if B2 greater than or equal to 80, return B.
Can you hear him?
We use additional
Yes, I
nested
can
if
hear you.
functions to test for C, D,
And the
and
video
F
also.
grades.
Yeah, the video voice.
I'm copying the formula.
Yes, I can hear that.
In this formula, we must test B2 greater than or equal to 90 first, and then B2 greater than or equal to 80, and so on. Let me show you why. If
So
B2 greater
these
than or
videos are there for you to, you can
Yes,
just pull
yes,
them up
that
whenever
this will be
you
of
want.
great help.
Great help, absolutely.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
so how to go to those videos? Whatever thing you click on, let's say filter,
Mhm.
or let's say sorting. Oops. Sorting. You have a question mark here. This is the help.
Okay.
So when you click on
Got it.
this, you will get a help for the sort first, and then you can search for additional help as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else you want to cover today?
Fair enough. I'll do some
Okay.
homework tomorrow because I don't think I'll have any escalation or meetings scheduled as